not.
Adjust that clock.
All right. I'd like to call to order the business meeting of the Lewis County Board of County Commissioners. This is Monday, July 9th. There are 3 commissioners present, so we do have a quorum. Flag salute. Peter Lamont, Central Port Commissioner, would you like to lead us?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Public comment. No public comment. We'll move to the notice items.
I move to approve 2 notice items, Resolution 18-217 and 18-218.
Second.
Mr. Fife.
Okay, I'm here to talk about Resolution 18-217, which is a call for bids for the East County Transfer Station to repair and replace some of the chutes. They've been worn and broke, and they need to be repaired. So we're going out to bid to replace them. And then Resolution 18-218 is a call for bids for our central transfer station in Centralia to repair primarily the tipping floor has wore from actual usage, some crane beams and some waste chutes as well there. So those 2 bids are for solid waste projects, one in East County and one in Centralia.
When's the last time any repairs have ever been done on these? Either one of them?
Well, I don't
Never?
believe there has been. I know the tipping floor, what they've done in the past is looked at putting an asphalt overlay because the rebar is exposed in places. But we're going to actually take the old concrete out and replace it with some harder material that should last a lot longer.
Sounds like we've got our money's worth.
Yes.
There hasn't been anything in East County. This is it. So
Good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Mr.
Jim.
Fife. It's been moved and seconded to approve the notice items, Resolution 18-217 through 218. Any comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Yeah, I make a motion to approve 2 consent items. That's approval of the July 2nd, 2018 business meeting, along with Resolution 18-219, approval of warrants.
Second.
Ms. Smith.
Good morning, Commissioner. Suzette Smith, Chief Accountant, Auditor's Office, here to present to you Resolution number 18-219. This is the weekly approval of warrants against the various county departments. Last week, we issued 135 regular warrants, number 800-879 through 801-013, for a total of $421,551.66. In addition, we had payroll on July 5th. We issued 670 combined warrants and automatic deposits. These include the payments to our vendors for taxes, health insurance, and items such as that. They were number 791-860 through 791-928. The numbering system is different because our payroll warrants are still being issued out of the legacy system, and our AP warrants are being issued out of the Munis system. The warrants and vendor payments AD for July 5th payroll was $3,640,449.58. We note the following warrants as a skip in sequence. These were issued on behalf of our special purpose district. Their commissions approved those warrants. They are number 800-843 through 800-878. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Suzette.
Is it moved and seconded to approve consent items, approval of minutes, and Resolution 18-219? Any comments, questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
I want to move to approve 4 deliberation items as Resolution 18-224 has been dropped from the agenda for this meeting. We move to approve Resolutions 18-220 through 18-223.
Second.
Mr. Roy.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Martin Roy. I'm from the Real Estate Services Division. I'm here to speak to you on Resolution 18-220. This is a consent to a proposed acquisition of right-of-way for Snyder Road in Packwood. We have a culvert there that is in need of replacing on Snyder Road near Packwood. This project will require the right-of-way from 3 property owners. RCW in Chapter 8 authorized county to acquire property when deemed necessary by the Board of County Commissioners. Pursuant to the requirements included in the RCWs, this resolution instructs the county engineer to acquire right-of-way from 3 property owners along Snyder Road for the project. All these acquisitions will be done in accordance with our resolution approved 14-160. Are there questions in regards to this culvert projects?
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
sir.
Mr. Fife again.
Okay, I'm here to speak on Resolution 18221, which is requesting approval for the county engineer to sign a number of applications to the Recreation and Conservation Office for fish passage projects. Some of the projects we're looking at putting in for this year are Pigeon Springs at milepost 0.5. That's an existing project that we need additional funding on. Graff Road, again, that's another project that we're short on funding. We're asking for additional funding. A new project on Graff Road at milepost 1.34, as well as one on Blanchard Road at milepost 0.698. King Road at milepost 531. Centre Alpha at milepost 15.79. And then Kruger Road at 1.20. This resolution will allow the county engineer to sign those applications at this time, with no obligation to go through it until we find out whether we funded or not, at which time we would bring it back to contract for the board to sign.
Questions?
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Fife.
Thank you, Tim.
And who's doing the rejecting of bids? Not so fast, Mr. Fife.
I can't get away from this. Resolution 18222 is, we bid our Stearns Creek project, which is on Pleasant Valley. And we received one bid. It was 40% over our engineer's estimate. And therefore, we're recommending that we reject the bid. We're actually believe that we can do this a lot cheaper ourselves. So that's the direction we're pursuing it right now.
Thank you.
It's not too often that it's 40% over the bid.
It hasn't been for a long time.
No.
I mean, back when things were booming, it wasn't uncommon to have high bids just because you couldn't keep up with the cost of materials going up over time. But
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you.
Now, Resolution 18-223 appoints members to the Board of Equalization, and we have 3 individuals who are being appointed to a 3-year term: Russ Wigley, Paulette Eaton, and Peggy Lasso. And we also have alternate members: Tom Krausen, Dennis Blake, Richard Tausch, and Johnny Dunnigan, who've expressed interest to continue. It's been moved and seconded to approve our deliberation items, Resolution 18-220 through 223. Any last comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Now we move to hearing. Yes. We announced that earlier. So we're opening a hearing regarding Resolution 18-225, We will first have a staff report, followed by a question and answer period. We will then close the question and answer period and open the hearing for formal testimony. And if someone wants to provide testimony, you will have 3 minutes. And if you'd like to sign up to testify, we do have a sign-up sheet on the lectern. So first, we'll start with the staff report.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Martin Roy. I'm from the Real Estate Services Division. Um, I'm here to speak with you in regards to Resolution 18225. This is a renewal for a 5-year term for a franchise for Puget Sound Energy to replace their existing franchise to construct, operate, and maintain water mains and cathodic protection cables in Lewis County public right-of-ways. Lewis County Code and RCWs require all utility installation in county roads of right-of-way to be authorized by franchise from counties. An application for the franchise has been received by the Board of County Commissioners from Puget Sound Energy to replace their existing franchise to construct, operate, and maintain water mains and cathodic protection cables in Lewis County right-of-way. The application and all related materials have been reviewed and found appropriate for purposes proceeding. A hearing was set by Resolution 18-192 dated June 18, 2018, and all required notices were given to the public. Public Work recommends the approval of resolution to grant a franchise to the Puget Sound Energy to repair their existing franchise, construct and operate, maintain water mains and cathodic protection cables in Lewis County roads. We're pleased to finalize this 5-year renewal. This has been a long-running negotiation, and we'd like to thank PSC for their continued cooperation.
So I'll just make a couple comments. This is Eric Martin, Director of Public Works. This has been a long, as Martin mentioned, this has been a long process. This was being worked on long before I became the Director of Public Works. So it's really nice to have some resolution on this. And oh, good, you have the map up there. So as you can see, this is not a large area of the county that this franchise is governing. It's basically the Jackson Highway corridor there and some surrounding roads from about Highway 12 down to the Cowlitz River in general. And this is not, I want to be clear, this is not Puget Sound Energy gas lines that this franchise governs. It's, as Martin said, water lines that have to do with the operation of the Jackson Prairie facility that PSE operates. So just a little bit about why this took so long. The county and PSE were at loggerheads on this negotiation for a long time due to some really specific issues. And probably the most prominent that I'm sure you've heard about and we've discussed is having to do with the idea of sole negligence. It's a very complicated issue, which I'm not going to necessarily get into unless you want me to right now. But it is one that was important to the county. And I do want to say that PSE has been, especially over the last year or so, been really great. They've worked very hard to try to come to a compromise with us, and we've done that. And that's what you have before you today. So I believe that this leaves the county in a very good standing as far as our franchise and our liability is concerned, but still gives PSE some of the things that they need to make sure that their interests are also recognized by this agreement. So just wanted to make a few comments there and say that this was a team effort, but PSE came a long ways and really was really good to work with, especially over the last year or so. And so I just want to thank them for that cooperation.
Okay. Any questions from the board? Okay, we will open up for question and answers section for the public. Are there anyone in? Yes.
I'll sign in after I'm done speaking. Amy Towsley, Municipal Manager for Puget Sound Energy. A long road here, as it's been said by staff. So happy to be here today at this part of the process and for the board's review and consideration of PSE's franchise regarding the Jackson Prairie facility. So very happy to be here today. And again, we really tried to resolve issues. And when you do a franchise, there's just sometimes you're just like, well, how can we move here? And I think for Puget really is, we work with about 180 jurisdictions, cities and counties, and it really is about that precedence. So the issue was very key, as Director Martin pointed out, so just how we could kind of look forward, because again, this franchise will be picked up and looked at by other cities and counties, even though this was really about Jackson Prairie, the language, you know, we don't fault any jurisdiction for doing that. So that's why it was really important for us to have this additional time. So thank you for your patience and for staff who have come and gone during this process as well. So thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other? We will close the question and answer period. Staff, would you like your opening comments to be included in the hearing?
Please. Yes, please.
Okay. Now we will open the hearing for public testimony. Do we have any names, new names on the list? No.
No, I started the wrong one.
We will close the hearing for public testimony.
Okay, I make a motion to approve Resolution 18-225. That's the hearing to approve the franchise to Puget Sound Energy, Inc. Incorporated to replace existing franchise to construct, operate, and maintain water mains for the Lewis County right-of-way.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve Resolution 18-224, or 5, I should say. And I remember when this was first brought up a number of years ago, I'm thinking maybe 5 years ago.
Yeah.
It's been a long time coming. And we also want to really indicate this is for water mains. Some folks had some other thoughts about what this was for, but I think people pointed out that this is just surrounding the water mains in that particular area that was highlighted in the map. Any other comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Now we'll move to the second hearing of the day. And it's the hearing for the second 2018 budget amendment for current expense and other funds. And we have copies available. So we will first have a staff report, followed by a question and answer period. We will then close the question and answer period and open the hearing for formal testimony. And anyone giving testimony will have 3 minutes. And citizens who would like to testify, we have a sheet on the lectern for you to do so. Okay, let's begin with the staff report.
Good morning, Commissioners. Steve Walton, Central Services Director, and Becky Butler, Budget Manager, here today. Copies of the detailed budget are at the front of the room. This hearing pertains to the recommendation to amend the 2018 budget as indicated in Resolution Number 18-226. Notice of this public hearing was published in the Chronicle on June the 28th and July the 3rd, 2018. The notice as published reflected an increase in expenditures of $3,166,131 and an increase in revenue of $2,238,289, resulting in a decrease in overall fund balance in the amount of $927,842. Subsequent to the notice being published in the paper, the need to amend other funds became necessary, resulting in an increase in revenue in the amount of $5,500 and an increase in expenditures in the amount of $274,033. With the new changes incorporated, this total budget amendment reflects an increase in expenditures of $3,440,164, an increase in revenue in the amount of $2,243,789, resulting in a decrease in estimated ending fund balance in the amount of $1,196,375. The general fund portion of this amendment is an expenditure increase of $425,315, an increase in revenue of $20,200, and a decrease in estimated ending fund balance in the amount of $405,115. Becky will now discuss the amendment details.
Morning.
I'll start with the general fund. There's an increase of $20,200 in revenue and expenditures in the elections department for costs related to prepaid postage for ballots. That's another mandate that we had. We do have revenue this time.
This year?
This year. Superior Court expenditure increase of $28,592 for interpreters, legal jurors, and other operating costs. State examiner costs, $10,000 increase over the original estimate for the SAO audit. County administration costs, $130,379. This is an increase in expenditures for the county manager's salaries, benefits, and associated costs for their operations for August through December. Prosecutor has an increase of $117,794 for DPA salaries, annual leave payouts, and interpreter costs. Sheriff has an increase of $44,739. This is an increase for annual leave payouts and tuition reimbursements. Jail has an increase of $27,733, increase for medical care for an inmate, and also tuition reimbursement. The majority of that was for the increased medical care. Juvenile has an increase of $35,878. This is for coverage for an employee's shifts while she was on light duty after being injured at work. And there's also an increase here for a contract agreement. Transfer of $10,000 to Fund 125 for planning services. And that wraps up the general fund increases. Move on to other funds. Social Services has an increase of $58,600 for expenditures for housing program, Department of Commerce. Communications has an increase of $28,076 for Homeland Security grant funds and related expenditures. Roads, which is the majority of this amendment, has an increase of $2,328,310 for road construction projects, including Coal Creek repairs and maintenance, Pleasant Valley and Bunker culverts, as well as increase in expenditures and revenue for culvert design for the Port of Chehalis. This amendment also includes $28,310 in annual leave payouts for employees who have left employment. The Chehalis River Basin Subzone District, which is separate, the county fund, that's the $10,000 increase for comprehensive flood hazard management planning services. This is offset by an increase in grant revenue from the RCO and a transfer in from current expense. Public Health has an increase of $46,458 in revenue in grant funds and $1,500 increase in training. There's 4 grants associated with that. There's WIC, MICA, CSHCN, and LSWFA.
Good job.
Do you know what they stand for?
I do. You want to know? I asked Annette.
Good. So they stand for?
So WIC is Women, Infant, Children. MICA is Mother, Infant, and Children. And CSHCN is Children with Special Health Care Needs. LSWFA is Local Solid Waste Financial Assistance.
Good job.
Capital Maintenance and Equipment Fund, $50,000 increase. This is for capital projects, including the Fair Office remodel, grandstands, and swine barn repairs, James Building remodel, which is the building we moved WSU into, and purchase of industrial mower for juvenile campus and work crew. Capital Facilities Plan is a $247,038 increase for capital projects, including the courthouse training room, family support office, Kresge Building counter, which is the Public Services Building, jail booking area, law and justice storage tank, and the juvenile campus fencing, carpet, and air handler. I believe the air handler was a large expense for that building.
Yes.
Solid Waste has an increase in expenditures of $98,649 for costs associated with the cleanup of the Reynolds Road property, the use of abatement reserve funds for that. Also an increase in revenue from the Department of Ecology for solid waste programs, reducing contribution from Fund 415 Solid Waste Disposal District in the same amount. Solid Waste Disposal District, reducing the contribution to Solid Waste Fund 401 of $107,324, which was the amount of the grant. Risk management for general liability, an increase of 300,000 for potential claims and judgments. Also in this amendment, and I believe Suzette's going to speak to this, we have included some changes for the way we have set up our funds for 505, which is our risk management funds. We broke apart that one fund into separate funds to account for them separately. And we also did the same thing for dispute resolutions. They each have revenue sources and separate cash balances. Are there any questions?
You want to add anything?
Good morning again, Commissioner. Suzette Smith, Chief Accountant, Auditor's Office, and we just wanted to add our support to the resolution. We did have a change in those funds, Fund 505, 510, 138. They had multiple funds within them in the legacy system. With the new system, it is appropriate that we break them into their own separate funds, and so they were included in this amendment. We thank Becky for including those in this amendment instead of having to carry out several individual amendments for those funds. In addition, we'd like to call attention to the individual breakdown that is included as your last few pages. All of the accounts or all of the funds in the new Munis system have added a 0 to the end of the fund number. So what you used to see as Fund 190 is now Fund 1900. The general fund is no longer just 001, it is 0010. So anyone who actually looks at the very back detail and notices that those fund numbers have changed, yes, as we move from the legacy system into Munis, we did need to add that. We now have a 4-digit fund number instead of a 3-digit fund number. Thank you.
Okay.
Lots of changes.
Yes, yes.
And
Any
that wraps up the detail. If you have any other questions or comments.
Okay. Commissioners, any questions for staff?
At this time. Thank you for all your hard work.
Thank you.
Yes. So we'll open the question and answer period for the public to ask questions. Anyone out there? We'll close the question and answer period. Staff, would you like your opening comments to be incorporated into the hearing?
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Okay. Now we'll move for public testimony. Do we have anyone? Oh, somebody crossed their name off. Any public testimony? You have the last chance. Okay, we will close the hearing for public testimony.
I make a motion to approve Resolution 18-226, hearing for the second 2018 budget amendment for current expense and other funds.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve Resolution 18-226. I just want to once again say thank you for all that you do. We used to have like 77 accounts. Do we still have that many different accounts? We have more now,
We have
right?
more now.
5 more. So we can say we have 82 different funds. So
Yeah.
when we talk about a fund, it could be one of 82 at this point.
Departments, yep.
Yes. All right. Any other comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Good of the order.
Thank you.
Yes. Good of the order.
Good to be back after a week off.
Yes. Yes.
Busy week last weekend, so
July
parade,
4th.
July 4th, and I did hear a comment on fireworks. Apparently, because it was on a Wednesday, according to what people have said, there wasn't quite as many fireworks going off after and before. I don't know if that had anything to do with it. So, I did get some calls from some people up in Glenoma about some overzealous fireworks people, and she said they didn't sound like fireworks; they sound more like dynamite, which is entirely possible. Get that? So
Bombs bursting in air.
anyway, so I have not heard anything, and hopefully there were no fires that started by fireworks.
Well, the parades in PL and Centralia, well organized, and Centralia had a new policy regarding candy. And I have to say, when the children learned they needed to stand on the sidewalk to receive candy, they obeyed. I think I only had 2 children who I said, if you put that other foot on the sidewalk, I'll give you some candy. And boom, they're there. hats off to City of Centralia, and I saw that there was motorcycle policemen going up and down, and everybody was
They did a
safe.
good job.
Yes, they did. They did.
Peter did a good job on the bicycle too.
Yes, it was.
Anyway, it was a very, very nice.
Yes,
Very.
yes. Good happening. Yes. All right. Now to the press conference. Or did you have something for good of the order?
Yes, I did, thank you.
Mr. Averill.
Ron Averill, and I apologize for being late this morning, but we had a call of the gauge group for the flood authority at 9 o'clock, and it ran a little bit longer. But I did want to tell you that we are almost finished with doing the gauge addendums from the 20, I think 29 to the 88. We'll finish that up in August, but we now have on Easy View a chart that talks about the gauge datum change. So if you're interested in looking in there, we've got the gauges that are involved, the new reading numbers between the old and the new, and the frequently asked questions, key terms, and things of that nature. And of course, what we'll be doing between now and the start of the rainy season is a serious job of getting out and to public outreach to inform everybody of the change. Some of these are fantastic changes. I just Thrush Creek, which is above where the dam is going on that tributary, or at the start of the Chehalis River, was shown as 14, and its new reading is 692 feet. So apparently, when they put that gauge in, they just used an arbitrary number that was there. And of course, someone that's used to it flooding at 17 feet is going to wonder what they'll think that they're under 600 feet of water when they look at this gauge change. So there is a little bit of public work that we're going to need to do in that area. We will also be meeting tomorrow with the Small Projects Committee. We've received so far 17 new projects for the 2019-21 biennium. And what we're going to be doing tomorrow is taking the initial look and seeing if there are projects on which we need more information, because on the 26th, we're going to sit down with all 17 of those projects and rank and rate so that we can come back to the OCB with recommendations of which projects we need to do in that biennium. So a lot of work being done on Flood Authority at the present time. And I too had an interesting situation with the parade in Centralia. I think I had to do a little bit more work than you did, getting some of the youngsters to get on the curb. And it was, I considered it a sort of a training for the parents too, to remember what the law is, so that I would really make sure that they were actually on the curb and not off or standing in the street proper. But I think it's a good change that was made. And when people get used to it, it'll be much more safe for watching. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Colonel.
Mr. Martin.
This is good of the order press conference, but I just wanted to let you know that the Coal Creek project is starting today.
Hallelujah.
So big success up there. We've got steel trucking that's mobilizing in today, putting in some silt fence and stuff like that. They can't get in the water until the 15th. So next week sometime they'll be working on that. But just wanted to let you know that project is starting, and they've got some real innovative things that they're trying up there, which should they feel should help the schedule. So that's sounds like all good news. Any questions about that project?
The road itself, Eric, I think when you talked to us about this before, you're actually going to put a kind of a turnaround in there.
Yeah, we'll put a new cul-de-sac in that's up away from the bank. But that'll probably be the last thing that we do, because once we get out of the in-water window, we can do that work and we won't be near the water. So.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Eric.
Let's move on to the press conference. Press, do we have any questions? just want to call attention to upcoming meetings that we're having. The Office of the Chehalis Basin is meeting this Thursday in Aberdeen at 9 o'clock. So if individuals want to come and attend, it's an open public meeting. And at 3 o'clock that same day, we commissioners are interviewing candidates for the Onalaska Water Sewer District. So hopefully we will finish that so we can have a full commission there. And it is the 12th at 3 o'clock.
Remember STP coming up this
Oh,
week?
STP,
weekend?
that's right.
I believe it is.
Is it?
STP and the
Yes.
Wow.
and the Toledo
Toledo Parade.
Cheese Day.
Cheese Days. Yes, don't forget that. Any other comments? Right, take
Good
a
luck,
motion.
Steve. No, it's all good.
With no further business, I move to adjourn.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you for coming, and thank you for those of you who have joined us online.
Ross.